I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Special edition Steel City Sports Road. I'm Luther Dupree. We got a packed panel on tonight. We got the Hall of Famer Claudio Rosano. We got the Hall of Famer, wannabe Hall of Famer Smokey Jim Frazier, City League legend, Peabody's finest Aaron Gilliard, and we got Ralph Williams, RW Media. Man, we got a great show. A lot of great things coming out. But how's everybody doing? Well, Aaron, we got to start off with you. Congratulations again. You just had your daughter on the 15th, man. Congratulations. You get any sleep yet?
Not really. Not really. I don't see no sleep happening no time soon. Yeah, man, I'm blessed. She came out 6 pounds, 13 ounces, 21 inches long.
Oh,
so
my
yeah.
goodness. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. She gonna follow her mom's footsteps. I see a legend in the making already. 21
Yeah.
already? Woo.
Yeah, I'm gonna count on it because she's already spicy too already. So it's gonna be fun.
Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait to see what's in her future, man. Congratulations. Claudia, what's going on?
Everything's good. Everything's good. Ready to do the show. Always good to be with you guys.
Man, it's a pleasure. I've been wanting to get on these topics so soon. Smoker Jim, you with us? Your Obama phone didn't cut off yet, did it?
Hey, Claudia.
Yes.
Claudia, you helped me with the Bobby, and then I got it, Bobby Bethard.
Bobby Bethard, that boy. That's right, Bobby Bethard. Thank you.
Yeah, back to the question I asked you, though. How you doing, Jim? You good?
I'm doing good, bro.
All right. We got my man Ralph. How's everything going with you, Ralph? What shows you got going on now?
It's going. It's going good down here, man. It's going great. Thank you.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Number to call scrolling down screen 412-530-5063. Give us a call. We got a lot of stuff to get into, but as we always do, Claudio has some things he wants to get into with our Claudio's Huddle Up. What's on your mind, Claudio?
You know, I always talk about, and Luther, we were going to have a show, or they did have a show on Ralph's show, Sports Corner, about comparing eras, 70s, 80s, and 90s, and today. And I always love the 70s and 80s and a piece of the 90s in all sports. But one thing I was talking to Jim and Luther prior to the show, not only were in my opinion, the players better back then, but the front office people were much, much, much better. We were talking about Gil Brandt and Bobby Bethard and Tex Schramm and Don Klosterman and the Rooney era, the people who were with the Steelers. What was his name, Jim? The guy you liked. Oh, my God. I'm losing my mind.
Tom Donahoe.
Yeah, Donahoe. All those guys. And the owners like a George Steinbrenner, criticize him all you want. The man won. The Galbraiths or the Pirates again with the Pete Peters and Joel Brown and Mr. Joe Poole. And I can go on and on, name all these names. Sid Thrift. But those guys knew the game. They knew talent. And they knew who to hire. Not that they never made bad hires, but they didn't make many. And I miss that era, those eras of not only great players, but great front office people who were suits, but they knew the game. And I think that's lacking today.
Okay. All right, Smoker Jim, what you got for us?
Hey, thanks, Lou. I got to agree with Brian Clark. If you marry a white woman, you shouldn't be saying a black woman's a hater. But, hey, listen. Hey, Lou. Priority number one for the Pittsburgh Steelers is not a number 2 receiver. Priority number one is to sign your greatest player of all time to a $42 million a year contract as TJ Watt. If TJ, again, I said this all along, if TJ Watt was black, he'd already have his money. If tomorrow James Harrison said he's coming out of retirement, season ticket sales would go through the roof. Greg Lloyd can't even walk anymore, but if he say he's coming out of retirement, everybody would be happy. TJ Watt can't do. He is the fastest to 100 sacks since Reggie White. Reggie White never had no problem getting his money. You know what I mean? This is the greatest guy. The Steelers have proven they can't win without TJ Watt. 7-time Pro Bowler, 3-time Deacon Jones Award winner, 2-time NFL forced fumble leader, Dick Butkus Award winner. I mean, what more he got to do? NFL Defensive Player of the Year, Lou. What do you got to do? He almost averages a sack a game, 108 sacks. And right now he's sitting around waiting on his money because of reverse discrimination, because no matter what he does, he's under a prove-it contract because he's a white linebacker.
Oh, my goodness, Jim. Okay, Jim once again trying to start us off. We're going to get on that TJ Watt $40 million plus a year that he's looking for. You know, we could talk about if he wants it or not. But one of the topics we're going to get into, and it's my prophetic thoughts. Aaron, we had talks. I had talks with you and also your wife years ago when Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark were in college. You know, but now they taking it to the next level. Everything these two ladies do is blown up. Caitlin Clark with a technical foul, hard foul. She got up. A lot of things going on, man. I don't like how Angel is always the bad guy. She got fouled this time, and she's still the bad guy. RG3 is out there getting on her. It was a hard foul. She got upset. It was a technical. Move on. But, of course, now it has to get bigger and bigger. You know, these two are rivals. This is what happens. We're going to get into it today. But as I said before, I told you, Aaron, told you, Ellen, I told the Gilliards that she was going to be a star. I heard a couple pushbacks. She's a star. You know, Caitlin Clark is great. She's a star. She's a top star in the WNBA, yes. But Angel Reese is a star in her own right as well. And I look forward to them, you know, continue to grow the game. But we got to stop with all the ultra negative and all the racial stuff that's going on against Angel Reese. Come on, man. Let's let them play basketball and enjoy the game. They're taking it to another level. Paige Beckers is there. In a couple years, Juju Watkins is going to be there as well. So that's what I'm going to get into. But, again, number to call, 412-530-5063. All right, let's jump into this topic first. And we talked about it. Angel Reese and Clark. Claudio, why don't you jump in first? What are your thoughts? Have you been following all the action, everything that's going on?
Unfortunately, it has. I don't like, and I'll be very blunt, I don't like anything whenever they start the racial stuff. I don't like it. It gets to be negative, and I just don't like it. And then whenever they start doing that, I turn the channel, and I don't like listening to it because I watch that stuff. I watch anything for entertainment. I'll put it to you this way. If I watch a political show, I want to hear politics. If I watch a financial show, I want to hear about money. If I watch sports, I want to be entertained. If I hear music, I want to hear good music, right? I don't like whenever they make it negative. And when they do that, it turns me off. And that's it. I don't like anything racial. That's just how I am.
Okay. Aaron, you know, we went back and forth when they were in college, LSU and Indiana. I want to get your thoughts. I know we can't get Ellen's, but towards the later in the year, I definitely want to have her back for some WNBA talk. Your thoughts on this, Aaron?
I agree with Claudio. You take away all the racism and all the negative stuff. You have you have one really good talent, then you have one that's okay talent who still need to develop more. So as far as the game, it was a dope game to watch. They just blew them out the water.
A blowout.
Yeah, it was a blowout. You see, there's levels to it, you know. But I think they're trying to sell it. It's all entertainment purposes, you know. If I wasn't around, I was still kind of young, but I matched my vets on the show, like Magic Johnson and Larry Bird. When they first came out, was it similar?
You know what, though, Aaron? That's a good point. And I blame the media for a lot of stuff because they like to stir stuff up. And I don't think Magic and Bird, since you brought them up, I don't think they disliked each other because of the color of their skin. Magic said Bird was mad because Magic won in 79. In 79 against Indiana. And Magic was mad that Bird won all those MVPs and won championships. It was a competitive thing. And look at them now. You can't get any closer, but the media likes to stir it up. And I don't like that. And I tell you what, the media has a hell of a responsibility because when they say stuff, there's going to be some people, and I believe us panel here, I think we can decipher the good from the bad. Some people maybe this guy says it's gospel, and again, so the media has a hell of a responsibility, and they should not try to stir stuff up. These are two great athletes, or like you said, I mean, you watch it more than I do, as does Luther. You guys are much more well versed in that sport than I am, but appreciate the game, appreciate the sport. Why has everything got to be negative and mad? And why can't it be one basketball player being so competitive that she wants to beat the other one? That's what it should be.
And I think, oh, go ahead, Smoking Jim.
Go ahead, Jim.
Let me get in on that real quick because I'm a little bit older than Luther. And
hold on, you're way older than me. Get it right.
When it comes to Indiana State, somebody from my high school was the trainer on that team. And don't forget that one of the greatest WPIL quarterbacks, Reggie Allen from Menneson, was the starting quarterback, and Tunchioka was the starting center on that Indiana State team. Listen, Larry Bird did. Listen, this was one time where racism helped. Basketball was dying, man, because you had all these black players and very few white players, and the white folks wasn't going to the game. When Larry Bird came in, guys that never watched the NBA, I'm talking about white folks, that only watched hockey or something like that, they started loving, they was rallying around Larry Bird. And the end result is you can't find an empty seat nowhere in the NBA, and it's filled up mostly with white folks. So it ended up being, even though it was racial back then, it ended up being very good because now white folks stayed away from the NBA. The ABA folded because white folks wouldn't support it, but they supported Larry Bird, and then they're falling in love with all the rest of the black players in the league.
All right.
And it seems like history is repeating itself. Like Smoker Jim said, and Claudio, they said when Larry Bird and Magic Johnson came into the league was dying. The WNBA is not a power, that level yet. So why not create controversy and clickbait? And that's what they're doing. It's clickbait. It's entertainment purposes. So they're trying to sell something that's really not there. As far as the players, I think what Claudio said, as far as just being a competitor, I think those two young ladies are doing that. But I think the outside, the media are the ones that are stirring the pot and trying to make it something that is not. And it could be coming from the WNBA as well because they're trying to sell tickets.
Yeah. I mean, the WNBA has been losing money for years. Hopefully this year they could turn a profit. But of course, like you said, I like that parallel, Magic and Bird. I said that last year. They brought that championship rivalry from college to the NBA, and Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark are doing it as well. Jump into the comments real quick. William Old School. He says, salute, William Old School. Thanks for tuning in. We got my man, Jason Hall. He said, that's how they hype things up in this day and age. It's to hype things up. The WNBA needs the attention. Hey, it's not just this day. It's always been this way. And Frank Jackson's back in there. He says, race still sells in sports. And that, in a lot of ways, that is true. That is definitely true. But if we go back and see the actual play, I don't think it was all that, much for people to be so up in arms about. I just want to run that real quick here. Again, number to call, 412-530-5063. Let me run this real quick.
Hey, Luke, if it was two other players, if it was two other ladies, would it have made news, that foul?
Absolutely not. It's because who it is.
Right.
All right,
well, guys, guys, a lot of this negativity comes also from social media. Yeah. This negativity also comes from social media. You got a lot of stuff going on social media now that you didn't have back when Barton and Kareem and all them played and all that other stuff. You didn't have that stuff now. Now you got social media out there, and everything's posted now. Even if somebody goes to the bathroom, it's posted, and they're turning it. They can turn anything into a circus, and that's exactly what's going on right now with the media and social media.
Yeah. I mean, look at that angle. Yeah, she did give her a little extra push on that. But I like the way. Did you see how Aaliyah Boston came over and helped her last year? That wasn't happening, Aaron. You know,
I agree.
she was
You stand up for your teammate.
Yeah,
and it wasn't extra maybe, but it's a part of the game.
She got that left arm in there and threw her down.
Was it as hard of a foul as the one? Was it as hard of a foul as one Angel Reese gave Caitlin Clark last year?
No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. I've seen.
Hold on, that one. It was she was going and missed the ball and hit her in the head. It was a head shot, but it wasn't.
He's talking about her teammate. The light-skinned young lady who pushed her.
Kennedy
Carter. Yep.
Something extra. Yes. Now that was a dirty play, but the one that Angel hit her, it was just going to the head. I didn't see anything wrong with that for real.
All I'm saying is, I remember growing up seeing Detroit Pistons punch Michael Jordan in the air while he was flying. I'm just saying.
Scottie Pippen. Yes, that was the. And look where they're at now. With the WNBA, that's more physical than the NBA right now. You hardly ever see these type of fouls in there.
Aaron makes a great point. Aaron makes a great point with the bad boys of the Pistons with Mahorn and all those guys, or even other players like Xavier McDaniel. You went in for a layup, you got hit, and it was just Bill Laimbeer. He was always looking for Larry Bird. I mean, it was physical, but because these girls are who they are, it's going to make news. Or clickbait, as Aaron said.
Definitely. I know we're kind of pressed for time because I know Ralph had to get it. I wanted to get his viewpoints on some other topics. Anybody else wants to add into that, make sure you give us a call. But Jim kind of got us started with this. TJ Watt, $40 million per year. Would that be a good deal? Jim, you already said you think it's a great deal. I didn't like I don't think Myles Garrett, $40 million, Max Crosby, 4 defensive linebackers. A guy, if they get 5 good plays, that's a great game for them. You can't look at these guys $40 million a year. I think Luther. Cleveland's not going to be good this year. The Raiders aren't going to be good this year. You can't have that much tied up in the defensive lineman or a linebacker position and be successful. I think that would be the wrong move. I'm coming to what you said, Claudio. I wouldn't mind if they maybe put them on a trade block, really start that rebuild a lot faster, because you can't pay them, $40 million a year, and this guy's going in a playoff game getting no stats. I think he's more on the tail end of his career. He's been a great player, Hall of Fame player for years, but he's starting to break down more. He's disappearing in playoff games. The last 5, he fell off. I say no, it's not a good deal, Jim. Another L for you in my book. Ralph, what were your thoughts on that?
I don't think he deserves it either, Luther. I agree with you on that because, he has regressed. I mean, I seen him playing the game against a rookie lineman, found him, and then he's tired. He walks off the field and he's on the sideline for a series or 2. I mean, I know you got to take a break sometime, but when you really need him out there, that's what happens. And he's injury prone. He's been hurt over the years too. So I mean, you have to look at these factors. And if the Steelers want to rebuild this defense and rebuild this team, they may have to go in that direction with TJ Watt. They could get a lot for him. And, with the 2026 draft coming to Pittsburgh and they want to, line up a whole bunch of draft picks, it would be a bad idea.
That's true. I mean, anybody else, Jim, we know how you feel about this.
Well, I feel like this. Well, first of all, RG3 is an Oreo cookie, so he shouldn't be making no comments. If you black on the outside and white on the inside, you shouldn't be making them comments. But what's
an Oreo cookie, Jim?
I can see why you black folks hated on Larry Bird when he was in the league and was great. Nothing he could do was good enough for you black folks. He make a pass, wasn't as good as Magic Johnson. He make a long shot, no, it wasn't as good as, this guy or that guy. Listen, TJ Watt is the most dominant player in Steeler history. When you got a record that's up there with Reggie White, the greatest defensive end in the history of football, and you got something about don't pay him, no, you build around a guy like that. He earned it. He's the leader. When they was getting rid of George Pickens, you were saying the leader in the locker room. He was a leader in the locker room then. Now that you don't want to pay him, he ain't a leader in the locker room.
Jim, 40 million is too much, Jim. 40 million is too much. Jim, he's a great player, but you can't play these guys, defensive lineman and linebacker.
Greatest player.
No, that's far from true. He's a great player, not the greatest. He's not Joe Green. Let him lead us to a couple Super Bowls before you say that. You throw that around way too loosely, Jim.
Franco Harris led us to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, okay. Where were we before Joe Green? Jim, there's no. I'm completely against it.
You still had Similac in your.
Jim, it's not just TJ Watt. I don't think Myles Garrett or Max Crosby should be getting that type of money. None of these guys. Let me jump into this comments. We got William Old School. This Knicks Pacers game is good. Yes, it is. Jason Hosner, he said it's too much. Mark Ness, definitely appreciate you coming in, man. Definitely check him out. And William Old School said, "What's up, Mark Nash?" Listen, I don't know, Aaron. What are your thoughts on this? Oh, we got a caller. Jason is on the line. Jason, you're on the air. Jay, can you hear me? Come off mute, Jason.
Yeah, I can talk.
Oh, okay. Yeah. What's up, Jay? What's on your mind? Thanks for calling in.
Of course. Yeah, I think I agree with the fact that TJ Watt is on. Can you hear me?
We hear you. We hear you loud and clear. Can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear y'all.
All right, go ahead. It's on you.
Yeah, I love TJ. I'm a big TJ fan, but we talking business. We still looking for a quarterback, and this is not a defensive league anymore. You got a Vic Herbig waiting for his turn. Steelers have always passed the torch to the younger linebackers. He's going to be cheaper. TJ Watt is my man, but it's $40 million is way too much.
I feel you. I mean, you got Highsmith back there, Herbig. Then they just drafted Sawyer. So I don't know if they're getting ready to maybe make
Peyton
that move.
Wilson in the middle. Their linebackers are set, bro.
Well, we'll see. I'd like to see Peyton Wilson. He has to step up another level. I was disappointed in Patrick Queen last year. I don't know. Set is a strong word. I don't know if we're set at linebacker. We spent a lot of money and a lot of draft capital there. I don't know if
has a better linebacking core than the Steelers right now. Probably nobody. You're not going to find.
Ravens got a nice linebacker. We can look at our own division. The Ravens got a nice linebacker staff as well. I mean, we don't have a rope.
The whole linebacking core is young, except for Alex Highsmith.
I agree with Jason. I think he's right. He said the key word, core. It's not just one guy. And I think now's the time to get. What's that?
Go ahead, Jay. Say it again.
I agree. I'm agreeing with you 100%. Exactly right.
Well, you said it, core. And that's what I don't want to get Luther all wound up. That's what I meant about the receivers, the core. Okay, we'll get to that later. But Jason's right. And then to give all that money, and Luther, you said it earlier, right on the button, 5 plays a game. And you can't give somebody that kind of money at this stage of his career when he, like Ralph said too, he's on a decline, in my opinion. And you have so many other needs. Spread that wealth around to make it a better core, a better team. And again, I've said it numerous times. Reggie Jackson was good during regular season. He was even better during the postseason. He's the face of the postseason, Mr. October. Okay, and Franco Harris. Jim mentioned Franco Harris. Franco was great in the regular season. He turned it up a level in the postseason. Bradshaw, Swan, all those guys, Lambert, all those guys. What is Watt done? At the end of the day, you're the big dog. You got to come up big time in the postseason. And Jason, I don't know if you remember a guy named Dave Kingman. Dave Kingman used to make these big splash home runs. He hit the ball 520 feet. He ended up hitting 210, 215. He was a splash player. Okay. In my opinion, TJ Watt he's a Hall of Famer, so on and so forth. Splash player. You do not spend $40 million on a splash player, but he's a shiny object. that can get a lot of draft picks. And Luther again said it perfectly. You can do the rebuild a lot quicker by getting rid of them.
Hey, so real quick, I do want to jump. Now you all said it's better. Listen, the Ravens linebacker, Kyle Van Noy, Roquan Smith, Trenton Simpson, and Owen, who had 8 sacks last year. We're not competing with that. I'll take the Ravens linebacker crew over ours.
Jason said they're one of the best. Jason said.
What, Jim? What? You said what now? You wouldn't take that Ravens 2 perennial Pro Bowlers? The only one I knew was the African.
The only one that is good is Roquan Smith. Cal, he's old. He's like TJ Watt. He's getting ready to be over the hill. It's a wrap.
Monster. Owen had 9 sacks. Trenton Simpson. Come on, man. I don't know. I think I might take their linebacker crew over ours. TJ Watt is a Pro Bowler. Who else on our team is a perennial Pro Bowler? Nobody. None of them.
But again, you're missing Jason's point. The word core, as a team, it's what's that saying? The sum is better, the parts are better than the whole.
He's a leftover from the Ravens. Peyton Wilson is a second-year guy. We don't know what he's going to do. He's not a pro. Did he make the Pro Bowler? No, he's not a perennial Pro Bowler.
He didn't play every down last year. He split time with Roberts.
And why is that? We paid him to be the main guy.
He's a rookie.
He was a rookie.
He was a rookie last year.
I'm talking about Patrick Queen.
He played every snap.
Oh, well, Queen, that was a disappointment, bro.
Was he not a disappointment last year? Everybody on this call can say Patrick Queen was a disappointment.
Not to me.
Agreed.
I wasn't satisfied. I expected a lot more. The middle of our linebacker crew was a disappointment, and that's part of the reason they ran straight over us in the playoff game. Derrick Henry, I don't think a linebacker touched him.
Yeah, that's because they were getting destroyed by the offensive line of the Ravens. You got to have the big boys up front to let them eat. Ray Lewis, I'm throwing it out there. Ray Lewis is one of the great. Listen, Ray Lewis is one of the greatest linebackers to ever play the game. But guess what? Without those big boys up front, the Halole Nadas and all those guys, Ray Lewis is not Ray Lewis, and he'll tell you that himself.
Oh, of course, you need help. But I never saw somebody run up the middle 250 yards and, like that.
He does it to everybody.
I feel like you're blaming the linebackers for something that the Steelers' defensive line did.
It's a combination. Linebackers,
the strength of stopping the run.
Hey, come on now. We had linebackers that didn't register a play, and Derrick Henry's running the ball 20 times. That's unacceptable. Pardon me? How does the defensive line and the linebackers not register any action?
We had underrated linemen like Aaron Smith, Casey Hampton. Those dudes clogged the middle, and our linebackers cleaned it up. The only person they got on the defensive line that does anything right now is Cam Hayward, and he's old, dude.
Ancient. He's looking at retirement. He's closer to retirement to being a.
So that kind of go against your point, Luther, because you saying Cam Hayward is ancient, and we have young Benton who hasn't performed yet.
If you're running like that, you're still supposed to make plays. There were plays to be made.
Hey, Luther, how many years?
Some plays.
We know Watt wants $40 million, but how many years does he want it for?
That's a great question.
That's a great question, but I believe he wants to more than what Myles Garrett got.
I'll give him $40 million for 2 years.
Hey, Claudio, he only wants a 4-year extension.
At $40 million, that's too much, Jim.
No way.
It ain't coming out your wallet.
I didn't say it was, and it's not coming out of your wallet. What I'm saying is it's too much for a linebacker who's getting up there in age. We ain't talking about Jim McKeesport property, Jim. Listen,
Hey, Luke.
Real quick. Who the GOAT says TJ's overrated? Trade his butt ASAP. You know what? I don't know about overrated, but trading them, I wouldn't be opposed to that.
Hey, Luther, you messed up. Jim doesn't have a wallet. He's got that rubber band.
You what?
Hey, Coach Aaron.
You said it's not out of Jim's wallet. He's got that rubber band.
Rubber band, right?
Hey, Coach Aaron.
Yes, sir.
Aaron. Hey, listen. Wouldn't you guys all agree that the greatest middle linebacker of all time was
Lawrence Taylor.
And Dick Buckus only played on 2 winning teams his whole career and was always the highest paid. Come on, man. You can't say that, Lou. You can't.
Dick Buckus was great, but as far as greatest ever, I have some other people I put ahead of him. Mike Singletary, Ray Lewis. I'm just saying. Pardon me?
That's why you put it.
And you never got hit by Dick Buckus. You're old as him, but you never got hit by him either.
But I've interviewed some people who have. And believe me, Dick Buckus and Jack Tatum was the 2 hardest hitting players.
Oh, they were some hitters. They were some hitters.
Yeah, but they had leather shoulder pads. They didn't have the full out equipment either. They had the leather helmets. Like,
I mean, you going a whole different era. We know you don't understand the eras, but that's a whole different era. Yes, he was great this time, but in my opinion, as Claudia always says, in my opinion, I have some other people ahead of him.
And thank you for mentioning Mike Singletary, Luther.
Not his coaching, his middle linebacker. His coaching, he was trash.
Yeah.
I can see why Tommy Novus is never going to get in the Hall of Fame because you got guys like Luther that got their opinion.
Underrated. Very underrated. Very underrated.
Jay, we got a couple other callers. Real quick, quarterback position. What do you think they should do and why? We still have Jason on?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. The quarterback position. Before you go, what do you think they should do and why? And are you satisfied about them just sitting around waiting for Aaron Rodgers to finally sign? Your thoughts?
Well, everybody's overlooking the fact that they signed a dude from Ohio State. That guy is unproven, and we'll see what he can do. But I'm okay with Mason starting.
Oh my God!
I don't like Aaron Rodgers. I don't like his leadership. But if he joins the Steelers, he's a Steeler. I'll cheer for him. But I have no issue with because there's other talent coming out, and the Steelers are setting up for the next draft, possibly Archie Manning.
Oh, Archie, man! Listen,
we have somebody who can run the offense.
No, listen. I think next year's draft, I think it's already being overrated. Archie Manning couldn't beat out a 7th round Quint Ewers last year, but he's going to jump and be the best quarterback, the number 1 quarterback, number 1 player taken next year. Come on, a lot of these guys, Drew Allure, they're saying he's a 2nd or 3rd. I don't think he's that great. I mean, these guys are very overrated. We don't know what they're going to do. They just assume that the 2026 class is
overrated, bro. Unproven.
Unproven and overrated.
And who's the one? And who are the people? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Jay, I don't call people overrated until they get to the NFL and prove themselves. Like, there's no telling what they're going to do once they get there. But
well, I'm going by their college. I'm going by in college. I mean, Archie Manning, he didn't even play a full season yet. I think the media, what the media does is they latch on to somebody, and then that momentum builds. Arch Manning. Again, these are reporters who don't know the game. They just see what they see. And as I always say, Jason, they don't separate the weeds. They don't dig in to see why. Like Jim has mentioned, players that aren't shiny, that aren't sexy, that aren't well known, because he'll sort through the weeds. These guys like Kuiper and all these other guys, they latch onto a player. They don't know why he's good. They'll make some stuff up. And, you really have to put them in the fire to see if they are good. I thought that kid, Howard, at the 6th, 7th pick, man, that was a hell of a pick. But it was a great pick. I agree. Yeah, but let me ask you this. I don't think Aaron Rodgers is the answer, because I think they're more than one quarterback away. But Mason Rudolph
is a game manager, but do they have the team around him to allow him to be a game manager? Do they have a stud backfield? Do they have the offensive line? I do think they have. Again, Jason's key word of the day is core. Okay. They do have the core receivers, but do they have the offensive line and the backs to make it a game manager? I think they're in trouble. Hell with it. Put Howard in, give it a shot. Just maybe you don't have to waste a pick next year on a quarterback. Maybe this young man will do it.
Hey, I'd rather go with Howard than Mason Rudolph. That's how I'm not impressed with Mason
Rudolph. You can't
Rudolph.
just throw Howard in to start the season.
We know Mason Rudolph's a proven bum. Rudolph's a proven bum. I mean, come on, man. He was bad here. Tennessee had him 1 year, immediately got rid of him, and drafted another quarterback, and then we bring him back.
But did he not take over for a week? Kenny Pickett and take us to the playoffs?
Oh my gosh!
With the average team.
The team carried him. The team carried him. The defense carried him, and then you couldn't get it done in the playoffs. He's a proven bum, Jay. Jay, he's a proven bum, man.
I said I'm okay. I'm not a Mason. He should start in the NFL, but I'm okay with Mason starting for our team. I am.
If he starts, we're going 0-5. We'll start off 0-5, and Howard will be in there anyway.
You know what though, fellas? I think the Steeler brass they just butchered this whole thing because they don't have a personality. Again, having a game. What was the guy from Dilfer? He was a game manager, but they had the team. They had the team around him to be a game manager. Marino was sling it. They had the team around him to sling it. What is the personality of the Steelers? If it was okay, forgive me for the reference, the old reference, the LA Rams of the 73-77, Chuck Knox, ground Chuck. That was a person. Eric Coryell, Stabler with the Raiders, just Wemby. They had that personality. What is the Steelers' personality? You guys tell me.
Well, Arthur Smith, I've never liked his offense, but, he's a run-first coordinator.
Do they have the running game? Do they have the running game?
Well, they haven't.
Running game comes from a good offensive line, and we haven't had a good offensive line.
Thank you.
Well, we'll see. Maybe the line can make some improvement.
I think it's both. I think it's both when you say that. Of course you got to have the pieces up front, but you also got to look at the backs that we had in the backfield last year. For example, Art Smith is a zone scheme guy. He needs running backs that can take a step, go straight up the field. Now I think with you look at the difference between Najee and Jaylen Warren last year. You're like, man, Najee ain't never breaking nothing. Then Jaylen Warren will come in and just take off. He'll get a nice burst. So you need the backs to do that. I think they have the pieces up front to do it. I mean, you gotta think. Dan Moore, Smoking Jim loves him, but Dan Moore is not a zone scheme guy.
But Aaron, those are good points. But don't you, as a coach, like for example, like with me,
yes.
I like to hit and run, steal. But if I don't have the talent to steal, to hit and run, let's say I have some big boys that hit home runs. Well, then hell with it. Let's go home run.
You adjust to what you have, right? That's what you do. But I think the Steelers are their offensive mindset is so terrible. We've been stuck behind Big Ben for so long, and Big Ben was doing things on his own with Antonio Brown, AB. And Le'Veon Bell and all those guys. The Steelers' offense is so far behind because of that man that you got on the screen, Mike Tomlin. Because you can't tell me, oh, we're a work in progress. We're a work in progress. No, this work, you need to stop. You need to start over.
It's time. Hey, you're right. Hey, Jay, man, appreciate the call, man. Hopefully we can have you on, on a regular basis, man.
Thank you.
Definitely appreciate you, Jay. Because we have another call we have to get to. Appreciate you, Jason. All right, I think Sean was on the line. Hopefully he'll come back in. Sean, are you on the line? All right, we'll come back. Listen, number to call, 412-530-5063. Couple other things that we had to get to that was on the agenda. So couple things happened. They said the Steelers We're looking at Chris Olave, searching for a second wide receiver. Smoking Jim, your thoughts. What should they do? And do we have the number 2 on our team? We drafted Roman Wilson, who only played 5 snaps last year. What are your thoughts? Do you think we have what we need or have to jump out and get somebody?
Well, first of all, Claudio will tell you back in the day, quarterbacks was given 4, 5, 6 years to develop.
Not anymore.
Rudolph is only 29 years old. He got a heck of an arm.
A bum.
And, well, you say that.
My bum.
But the same way with the quarterback that went to Tennessee from the Miami Dolphins. He did pretty good in Art Smith's offense.
Tannehill had one. He had one season. Okay. No, he had one season. A bum.
I agree with Smoking Jim. Luther, you got also look at a quarterback from Minnesota Vikings. You put him in the right system with the right person, he can do something. Just throwing it out there.
No, he was surrounded by great talent. We'll see when he goes to Seattle and reverts back to Sam Bum Darnold.
But isn't that the reason? But everybody's supposed to be a great talent in the NFL.
He's going to revert back, and people are going to say it was this talent around him in Minnesota saved him. Hey, we do have Sean on the line. Sean.
Hey, what's up, fellas? How's everything going?
Hey, Sean.
Thanks for calling in, man.
Yeah, I'm just watching. I'm listening to y'all talk about the Steelers' upcoming season. Watching that NBA, NBA playoff game 1, the Knicks and the Pacers. But
a great game.
Say that again.
It's a great. I think that's a great series. I think it's going 7.
Yeah, if the Knicks just make it to the NBA Finals, you're not going to be able to tell people from New York nothing. But if they win it all,
oh, it's over. That city's going to explode.
It's over. But as far as the Steelers are concerned, I'm going to just play it out. Just watch the season and let it play out. I wish Rodgers would come out and say what he's doing so that way we know, okay, if Rodgers is going to play here or not. I'm going to just let it play out because they got a plan. And I'm going to say this, Arch Manning will not be in next year's draft. He won't be in next year's draft because I think due to his father, well, no, not his father because his father's Cooper. Due to his uncles and his grandfather, and they've had multiple years starting on a college level, I think they're going to do the same thing with Arch. Start 2 years at college, then go pro. So I don't know why people think he's coming out. And his first year in the NFL, he will be making more money than he would be if he stayed at the University of Texas. So he'll be taking a pay cut coming to the NFL early.
All right. Yeah. I don't know, man. I need to see more. People are hyping.
You know what? Let me ask you guys. I've never seen him play. Does he have a big arm? Is he a mover? Is he like his grandfather? What is he?
He's a name. He's a name.
He has a name.
Like Luther said, if you're not beating out Quentin Ure, and you had the opportunity to do this, you're not what you people. I don't think that you are. I don't think you're that because you want to put your best out there. And if he's better than your starting quarterback, why isn't he out there?
So what's his thing that you can hang your hat on? Is it his arm?
He's smart. Don't get me wrong. He's very smart. He knows how to dink and dunk. He's very accurate. He's an accurate quarterback.
Yeah.
But I don't know if he's going to be able to hold up to the pounding. You got to protect him.
Yeah.
I know they like to do a lot of read options with this young man, and I don't know. He get hit the wrong way.
Hey, we know one thing. He runs way better than Eli and Peyton. I mean, he can move like his grandfather could move. So that's one plus. He's mobile back there. And he has a strong arm.
Hey, Claudio.
Yes.
Hey, Claudio, put it this way. And I agree with Sean that he's probably not going to come out next year. First of all, Quinn Ewers was supposed to be a first-round draft choice coming into this season, number one. Nobody was going to beat out Brock Purdy at Iowa State, going into his senior year. Listen. Arch Manning is a future NFL Hall of Famer.
Oh my God! Here you go.
He got it all. He got it all, brother. He can run. He can throw. He understands the game from the neck up, and his daddy Cooper needs the money.
Oh God! hey, Sean. You know, we showed some highlights. He does look like he has skills out here. Real quick, you're watching the game. So who do you have winning? I think OKC hands down. I think they beat all the rest of the teams out there. They're too deep. They got the MVP, SGA. He just knows how to score. I just think they're unstoppable, and we're looking at the next dynasty possibly. Your thoughts?
Well, here's the thing about the dynasty thing. Since 2019, so let's see, 19, 20, hold on, 19, 20. This year is going to be the 7th straight year. There's going to be a different NBA champion since 2019. No, since 2019, because Golden State won it in 2018 and 2022. So since 2019, it's going to be the 7th straight year where there'll be a different NBA champion. I don't know if people's paying attention, but due to the NBA's last CBA, they have a thing called a second apron where you are highly taxed if you, I guess, hit a certain threshold with your contracts with players.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to be hard to build a dynasty now. Until they change, they got to get rid of the second apron if they want to have dynasties in the NBA.
Well, yeah, that's true. But here's the thing with OKC, they're all young. You know, they really don't have to go out, and they're all under contract for quite a few years. I mean, they're like maybe the second youngest team in the NBA.
Hey, Luke, I think, like Sean said, I don't think any of you can disagree with this. The NBA is praying that the Knicks win the championship, because that would be big time news, man. That way, in my opinion, I think that's the best thing that could happen in the NBA if the Knicks won. Do you guys agree with that or no?
1000% agree with you. But guess what? The New York Knicks is just like the Dallas Cowboys. Something bad just waiting to happen.
Right, and listen, and the way Thibodeau plays his players, unfortunately, I see one of those guys breaking down either before the NBA Finals or in the NBA Finals. He plays those guys a ton of minutes, and it always catches up to them in the playoffs.
Hey, Luther.
Jim.
Hey, you know, you cut me off on the last thing about receivers, but that's okay. But my team is the Dallas Mavericks. I love them, but how come the African from Milwaukee can't never win nothing?
You mean you're talking about the Greek freak Giannis?
Wherever.
Well, he did win one a couple years ago.
He won a championship.
Yes, he won a championship and got the MVP. He dropped 50 in the closeout game, Jim.
Wow, that tells you how much I care about the NBA.
Well, yeah, you're missing out, first of all. But and the thing is, they have not been able to put a team around him. Milwaukee's a small market team. They tried to get Damian Lillard. He tore his Achilles. And now it looks like Giannis may be moving on. And that's a key story.
He wants to quit on his teammates.
No, he's left everything on the line, Jim. Over the last 3 years, he's been top 2 in MVP and could have easily been the MVP. He's carrying the team, but they're not putting enough around him. And
I heard something on this.
Go ahead, Sean.
Just like TJ Watt was defensive MVP, but you don't want to pay him because he's white.
No, it's not about that. Let TJ lead to a championship before you want $40 million. Come on.
Well,
you can't go a whole playoff game and have no stats. I'm going to keep harping on that.
He ain't going to be like Aaron Donald, quit on his team.
Aaron Donald led his team to a championship and went out.
There won't be no Aaron Donald. No, we won't have that. No.
Yeah, we're not. That's what I'm saying. We're not going to go no Aaron Donald slander. Jim is anybody who comes out of Pitt Hill smoking Jim is mad about.
Yeah, I was about to say smoking Jim is mad because Aaron Donald beat on Gateway a couple times. That's why he's upset.
Here's the thing: smoking Jim came out of Pitt Hills. Remember I got the receipts, Jim.
No,
Adam Marino came on our show and said he stole you out of Pitt Hills.
no, but what I wanted to say was that in regards to the NBA, and people have said there's two quick things. Hold on, give me a second, guys. Give me a second.
All right. As we get to this, man, listen, Anthony Edwards, people keep trying to say he's the next Michael Jordan. You can't have outings like he did last night. He completely pulled the second half. SGA dropped 20. He's going to have to step it up in this series. I mean, he's another guy getting a lot of hype, and the bigger the game gets, he's not showing up. I'm going to need Anthony Edwards to step up this next game.
Luther, I'm back. This is Sean.
Go ahead, Sean.
Oh, couple things real quick. People have pointed out, isn't it ironic Dallas trade Luka, but then Dallas gets the first pick in the lottery? That ain't ironic?
Is it ironic or is it something else? That's a question a lot of people are asking, huh?
But then here's the thing too. If Giannis wants to get traded later this week, he'll let the team know if he wants to get traded or not.
He'd be a fool not to ask for a trade.
Who got the draft capital to trade for Giannis? San Antonio does. Dallas does. Huh?
Yeah. Those are two teams.
Dallas, but guess who's the third one? OKC, because of the players in a draft capital they got.
Also, maybe the Houston Rockets also is a team that.
Yes, if Houston trades them. If I'm Houston, I give up Jalen Green. I got to keep the top one. I got to keep – and Şengün, well, here's the thing. If you're Houston, you probably going to have to part with Şengün. If you trade for Giannis, you got to part with Şengün. So that's the only thing.
I don't know, man. I think if Nico trades – the number one pick and loses out on Cooper Flag, he might never make it out of Dallas with walking. I think he kind of has to take Cooper Flag.
No, I think the only way he won't take Cooper Flag is if they trade for Giannis. That's the only way he won't take Cooper Flag.
Maybe they'll get Arch Manning.
Oh, y'all do know that Texas opened their season up 3 hours from Pittsburgh against Ohio State, and I guess a lot of people.
If you get tickets somehow, Sean, if you get tickets, Sean, I'm just down the road. I'm trying to come up there. That's going to be the hardest ticket in town.
That may be the highest price ticket for the college football season, and that's just the first game.
Absolutely, but you got it, Sean, man. Just look out for your boy.
I'll see what I can do.
Hey, Sean, real quick, man. I know we get on this audit every time you call, but Shedeur Sanders, I'm telling you.
What about him? What about him?
I'm still waiting for evidence to drop. I'm still waiting for it because I'm seeing reports. I just read a report on ESPN.
Let me say this.
Dart was getting some of those answers from the Giants. I'm just saying. I've read the report.
Luther, let me say this. Okay? Let me say this. I've told you certain things off record.
All right.
Like I told you, my wife has a master's degree in journalism. Now, I already knew this before I met my wife. Once you get sources with certain things, you don't give stuff out.
True.
So what I'm saying is I've heard from reliable sources, and I'm not downing Shedeur. My only thing is, and I'm just trying to tell people, use this as a teachable moment. You got to go in there put your best foot forward with an interview. I was told by multiple people Shedeur didn't go in there with his best foot forward on the interview. Shedeur Sanders, you are not as athletically gifted as your father, Dion. You didn't have a chance to play two sports like your father. Oh, your father already had a Major League Baseball contract before he signed the NFL contract. So if he didn't want to play football, he didn't have to.
Well, nobody's arguing that. Sean, Dion is 101. We probably will never see another Dion. But you can have confidence.
The whole thing is this. Shedeur went in there and showed his ASF.
Oh, here you go with that, man. All right. He's a confident young man. That's how I want my quarterback to be. And that's how Will Howard is.
Luther, Luther, you're not. Me and you on disagree on that shit. You're not gonna get it. I know this from reliable sources. Okay, he would have been a first round pick. Nobody gonna give you a first round pick when you show your ass. Why you think the Steelers got rid of Pickens?
He's the only one who showed his ass in the interview. All right, Sean, we get it, man. All right.
But here's the thing: what you got to understand, you already know people don't like you because of certain things.
So, and that wasn't going to change, Sean.
Luther, let me finish what I say. When I go on my job, I already know people don't like me. I'm the only one in my job that got a college degree. They think I'm stupid. They think I'm stupid. And I'm a black man with a college degree. They think I'm stupid. So what I'm saying is, when you go on these interviews, you got to put your best foot forward.
Now that we can agree on.
Pay for the consequences. And the reason why I'm not going to give away sources and stuff, because if I told you something about when somebody's available for the NFL, all I'm going to say is, due to somebody making a certain college move, and I'll tell you when it happens, a certain NFL team took them off their draft board.
True.
I'll tell you face to face, Luther, because when you hear it, you ain't going to believe me. I got this from very reliable sources.
Sure. I hear what you're saying, but here's also, other than Travis Hunter, every Colorado player was drafted at least 2 rounds lower than they were expected to go.
Luther, it's not about Travis Hunter. You got to be
I said it, not Travis. Anybody not Travis Hunter with at least 2 rounds under, and that's a fact. We could go look at the draft reports. Jimmy Horn.
So Luther, I'm not focusing on every other player.
Well, I am. That's the point. You're saying this. I'm saying this was a Dion Clown Colorado thing. And I have the stats to prove that.
Okay, and I'm glad you said that, because here's why. Okay, and I'm glad you said that. You want to know what else I heard? Because I'm gonna put something else out there. There was a picture of Dion going off on one of the scouts at their pro day. The scout was trying to teach Colorado's runners how to run a 40. Dion went over there and
said, "Do it your way." Yeah, I saw that. We saw that. He said, "Do it your way."
So, Luther, what I'm saying is this.
So you're proving my point, right?
Luther, this is what I've been told, okay? Usually when people have scouting combines, coaches don't do what Dion does.
That's true. True.
So what scouts are saying is, are you going to call back to your daddy, Dion? When something don't go right, you're a professional. You're not in college no more.
You're right. Hey, sure, man. You my man. It's always a pleasure. We're going to disagree, but as the years go down, we're going to see if Shedeur proves that it was other things, at fault, the reason he slipped all the way to the 5th round. That's just my opinion.
About Shedeur, Luther, his interview must have been not bad. He went in the 5th round. And I've heard by multiple people his interview was that bad.
So all the Colorado players had bad interviews too, I guess.
I'm not focusing on the Colorado people.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You're focusing on one. I'm focused on the whole program and Coach Prime. Hey, but Shaw, I appreciate you, man. We got to head out. Shaw, our time is up, man.
You brought all the other players in. Till today, you never brought all the other players in. Till today, only thing the focus was on was between me and you. Now today, you brought in all the other players.
No, I did this last show too. And I'm gonna bring up the pre-draft, the actual draft.
I didn't hear you say it. All I'm gonna say is about Shedeur, his poor interview skills screwed his money up. It screwed him out of $40 million. And that's all I'm gonna say about it.
All right, hey Sean, man, I appreciate you, bro.
Because he got advantage over everybody. That's all I'm saying.
All right, hey Sean, we gonna continue this, man. But I appreciate you calling all the time, man. You know that.
Oh, I ain't worried about it, man. It's just only point I'm just trying to get across is tell people when you go on job interviews, put your best foot forward. They don't give a fuck who. Excuse my language. I apologize. They don't care who your mom and dad is. All they care about is you. That's all they care about.
I got you, Sean.
Like your dad, you ain't gonna get the job.
Hey, Sean, man, appreciate you, man. We gotta get out of here. Okay. All right, Sean. Hey, Smoker Jim, you still there?
Hello. little Manchester came out of Sean.
Final thoughts, man. You know, Sean gets into it, man. You know, we love Sean out here. Real quick, we haven't had you, and I know Aaron had to run. Chris Olev trade. Would you like that to happen? And any final thoughts as we close up?
Well, first of all, you can't keep trading because you're not a good drafting team anymore. You know, when he listen, this was a first round draft pick. This was a great player, man. He ain't coming for free. No, I would go with the players I got.
Oh my gosh!
I would keep that midget on the bench.
Who's the midget?
Sparingly, the guy that you gave an A to, that
Calvin Austin. Oh my goodness!
I think I would go with Roman Wilson and let DK Metcalf earn his money.
All right, I disagree, man. I think they have to make a trade. Let's jump in here. JMD, appreciate you. Great show. And JMD 0324 Olave, good receiver, would be good get for him. I think that would be a great move if we're able to get Olave. You know, he's going to be expensive, but if we can get him for a third round or even 2 third rounds, I might even go with a second. He's that good. He got all those concussions because he had a Derek Carr throwing balls so high he was jumping and getting his head knocked off. We know when you got a bad quarterback, you're susceptible to some concussions because the throws are so bad. And I think that's what happened with him. Let's get one more comment. William Old School, hell no, he needs to stay with my Saints. No, your Saints are done, man. Y'all picked a real bum, Tyler Slug. He's not going to get it done. I think you guys are just tanking for Arch Manning, man. William Old School, appreciate you jumping in. Jason calling in. Sean, who the GOAT? Mark Nash was in here. Frank Jackson. Hey, Claudia, any final thoughts before we get out of here?
Everybody's got it wrong. You got to get that offensive line built. That'll help. It'll be connected to everything else. Offensive line, quarterback, running game, receivers, defense. And I don't know what they did with that unless their number 1 pick last year comes up big. That's my biggest worry for them is the offensive line.
Okay. All right, Smokey Jim. I know Aaron had to go, man. Ralph had to go as well, but I appreciate all you guys. And have a good week. Make sure you check out the website, scsportsworld.com, and we'll check you out next Wednesday. Appreciate all you guys. Have a
great. See you, Jim.
Peace.